Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Let me add just a few remarks to what the Secretary said about Operation Security. As we approach large-scale operations, our responsibility is to give the troops the best opportunity for success and to protect their lives as best as possible. There are military preparatory actions that need to be accomplished before any major attack. That said, we still want to preserve tactical surprise as much as possible. So we will not confirm or deny any preparatory actions, whether accurate or inaccurate. We will acknowledge the obvious if those actions become visible, but give little details, as the Secretary just did on the strike on an Iraqi leadership target. Many of these preparatory actions in the hours ahead are vital to the lives of our troops and the safety and security of Iraq's neighbors. I know our nation and our friends and allies will understand and support these efforts. There's been much talk about how easy this conflict could be. Let me assure you that we do not regard combat as an easy task. Warfare is dangerous. We will have casualties. But I'll tell you that our troops are the best trained and the best led in the world. They understand their mission to defend America, and they will carry out their mission successfully. Let me reassure you that when full-scale combat operations begin, we will make the appropriate announcement and provide information on some of those preparatory actions that were accomplished. Finally, to join in with the Secretary, we wish Godspeed to all the soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, and civilians from the U.S. and our coalition forces who may find themselves in harm's way. With that, we'll take your question.
General Myers, you had said earlier that Saddam Hussein is not a target of the war. How do you reconcile that with the first strikes being cruise missile strikes on where Saddam Hussein might be?
Regime, leadership, command and control is a legitimate target in any conflict. And that was the target that was struck last night.
Charlie?
Mr. Secretary, two quick ones, if I may. Did you have information? You said
why don't we just try one?
Well, all right, you said a leadership compound was struck. Did you have information Saddam might have been there? And quickly, there are also reports from southern Iraq that oil fires have begun. Is there any information that the Iraqis might have begun setting their oil fields on fire?
I thought we agreed on just one.
All right, let's go with the oil one.
We're not on the ground. I have seen indication and reports from people that there may be, that the Iraqi regime may have set fire to as many as 3 or 4 of the oil wells in the south. And we're in the process of attempting to get additional information on that. Is that your information?
That's correct.
You plan to try to move quickly to stop that
And needless to say, it is a crime for that regime to be destroying the riches of the Iraqi people. And but I'm not going to get into operational
And the
details.
people that are carrying it out from the regime are part of that crime.
When you
part of that crime.
Our what, sir?
They're part of that crime. The people that are carrying this out, carrying these orders out.
Thank you. Yes.
Secretary, if indeed we missed Saddam last night, what does that do to the Iraqi spirit, and does it provide an early propaganda victory for the regime?
You know, I'm not into the tick-tock of every hour and every minute. We have a serious task before us, and it is to remove that regime and find the weapons of mass destruction and replace it with a government that does not want those weapons and will not threaten its neighbor and will maintain a single country. This is a process that takes some time, and it will ebb and flow. And when it's over, the regime will be gone.
Mr. Secretary,
yes.
You and other officials have emphasized how massive the actual attack on Iraq will be once it starts, urging the Iraqi military not to fight. Is it also your hope that some elements of the military might remove Saddam themselves, and how would you assess the chances of that?
I don't think it's possible to assess the chances, but there's no question that the people of Iraq and the people of the region have to know that his days are numbered. He's not going to be there. In some period of time, he's gone. And that regime is gone. To the great benefit of the Iraqi people, they'll be liberated. There are various ways it could happen. One way is that the people of Iraq close to him could decide that he's no longer of value to the country, which would be the understatement of the morning. He could decide it's time to leave, and he'd prefer to stay alive and find a way to escape. There will be Iraqis that will surrender. There will be Iraqis that offer to help us. There will be Iraqis who offer not only to help us, but to help liberate the country and to free the Iraqi people. The more of them there are, and the greater the chance that the war will be limited and less broad. The fewer there are, the risk that it will be broader and more difficult, take more time, and more lives will be lost.
Mr. Secretary, what evidence do you have? What evidence do you have that it's actually working? That there are actually Iraqis who are heeding this call to...
We have evidence.
And what sort of evidence is that?
Good evidence. Yes.
Do you have reason to believe that Saddam Hussein was at the compound that was struck last night, or his sons, for that matter?
We had what I would characterize as very good intelligence that it was a senior Iraqi leadership compound. We do not know what the battle damage assessment will be when that type of information is available to us. And I'll leave it right there. Pam?
Mr. Secretary, at about the same time that this strike began in Iraq, there was a new assault launched in southern Afghanistan involving several thousand troops from the 82nd Airborne. Is that a coincidence, or is that an intentional message to show that this war in Iraq is not taking away any attention from the war against al-Qaeda?
Well, I don't know that I'd say there's a connection. It isn't taking anything away from the war against al-Qaeda, and indeed the pressure will be helpful because there have been and are al-Qaeda in that country.
It is a separate operation. It is not connected, and would have been coincidence.
Mr. Secretary, General Myers.
Mr. Secretary, last night
could you tell us